Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Chad. Let's get right into it. This has been on my mind for a few weeks now, and it comes across my mind every day when I see it with people. Don't be a victim to nobody. Don't ever let anybody make you feel like you got to do something you don't want to do. Too many people struggle with saying no. For some reason, it's hard for men to do. Is to look at somebody else in the eyes and just go no. I used to struggle with it. I used to, how it is when you're in school. You're going through an awkward time, bad haircut, wicked case of acne. You don't want no eyes on you, but when they are on you, damn, you better act right. You want some friends. The harder you try, the worse it gets. I found that out the hard way. I also found out your ass is probably better off if you ain't got a lot of friends. More friends you got, the more BS you're going to have to put up with. If I could go back, and I know then what I know now, but don't ever let anybody make you feel like you can't say no to them. Long story short about that, I, I live in I don't know. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it ain't. Right now it ain't. My neighbor across the street, long story short, his house burnt down. I hate that for him. I really do. I wouldn't wish that upon nobody. That's awful to be homeless. And I did try to go over and assist him in the best I could, but sometimes there's just things that are out of our control that we can't do nothing about. The next thing I know after this happens, y'all can say what you want. I don't care. Next thing I look around, it's normally kind of quiet over here where I'm at. Sun, which I mean, a house on fire is something to kind of go when you're driving by, but unless you're able to help somebody, or this is just me, I would never stop and just stare at somebody else's sorrows. If I can't offer you a damn hand, I ain't gonna offer you a set of eyes to just sit there and stare at you. Hell, how the hell is that gonna help you any? But people around here love to do it. You should have seen how many people when this cat's house was burning down. All of a sudden they were everywhere. I looked around and there's just people standing in my yard, people trying to park in my yard. I'll shoot you straight. I'm funny, man. Unless I invite you over, I don't want you in my damn yard. I really don't invite anybody over unless it's immediate family, and they're always welcome. Nah, they're always welcome. They know that. But I'm real particular about that. I like my privacy. I do. Whenever I come home, that is just my time. As soon as I pull in that driveway, it's just time to decompress and just forget about the outside world the best I can. So I look out here and man, it just threw me into a tailspin. I look out here, there is people everywhere. They're all over my yard. They're covering everything up. I just, it was very overwhelming to me. And I politely said, "Hey, um, what's up? What are you doing in my yard? Hey, look, are you know him or?" And so that kind of thinned out. Next thing I know, here comes the volunteer fire department. I don't know if you've had any encounters with them or not. Maybe yours are good, but if I feel like if you get paid for a job, you're going to do better. So this is not me knocking the volunteers, the volunteer state, not knocking the volunteers here, but just first first thing I see, here comes a fire truck loaded down with water, carrying how many gallons I don't know. Okay, so here's my house. Here's my neighbor's house. Now I specifically watched this Google Eyes look over at my yard, and then he looks over at the yard where the fire is. This cat, instead of going, well, let me just veer off here. No, he wants to try and drive that big ass thing right through my yard and tear my yard up. And who gonna clean it up after that? He gonna come back and fix it? No. So, but he proceeds to start, and he's gonna turn and just go right through my yard. I had to go out there and flag him down and holler, "Hey, don't do that." He was already cutting over, and he was gonna drive over my water line and everything. He busts that. Guess who's gonna pay for it? Me. He went over and cut a rut, and then he stops and looks at me. He goes, "Where do you want me to go?" I said, I want you to go over there where the damn fire is. What are you doing trying to drive through my yard anyway, you cathead? That makes absolutely no sense. Okay. And man, people are like ants. They love to follow. If you lead, they'll follow. It doesn't matter. If you lead, that should be the new saying instead of if you build it, they'll come. Hell no. If you lead, they'll follow. So after one little rut, here comes somebody else. They looked over, seen that, and started, man, I had to stand on patrol the rest of the damn night because of this. I didn't even have any problems. And like I said, I feel bad for the dude in his house. That's bad. But why you got to try and tear my shit up? Because people don't give a damn. That's why. I had and I'm very mindful of my surroundings in my neighborhood. This one guy came over here to see him. He was driving a pretty nice old classic truck. He drives over, looks at my yard, and I'm standing there. I'm like, man, don't do it. Sure enough, he's fixing to do it. I said, whoa, what are you doing? Well, I got to get over there. That's my friend. I said, all right. Why don't you drive through his damn yard? Well, I don't know if I can make it over there. I said, well, then I guess you just ain't going to make it. Son, this is not a racetrack. Like I said, you feel free to leave a comment, but I worked hard. It took me years to get something decent. I mean, you have no idea. I remember there was a time my ass was so broke, I went to go shave. Need to do that, by the way. I went to go shave, and I was leaving the house to go shave, and I didn't really carry this back then. I didn't really carry any cash. I went to go shave, and I remember turning on the door, and my wife said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I gotta go to the dollar store. I need some shaving cream." She said, "Don't do that." And I said, "What's the problem?" "We can't afford it." I said, "I can't afford shaving cream." This was true. Couldn't afford shaving cream. What was that shit, like $1? So that'll put you in my position, which has made me the way I am today. And I don't care. I don't apologize for it. I've worked hard to get where I am. And it may not be much to some of y'all, but it's mine. And I take pride in it. And because I try to be particular and take pride and try to upkeep my stuff, I'm the ass of the community. And people don't like it because I'm particular. I don't care. And you know what? What's bad is I'd yell at the firefighter dude, the other guy, another lady who I know, she was fixed to do it. Man, I just sat here all night. I said, because if I don't watch them, they're just going to do it, and I'm going to wake up to a mess. And don't get me wrong, I feel bad after I have to. If I have any words with you or anything like that, if I get into an argument with somebody, I carry that around for a long time. I shouldn't be that way. I really shouldn't. And my wife was asking me after the fact, what's wrong? I said, I'm upset. I don't like having to yell at anybody, but damn, people force your hand. She was telling me, she said, don't worry about it. It's our yard. She said, if they'd have drove through there and tore it up, do you think they're going to come back and fix it? Hell no. Because I looked, they did it to somebody else's property just a little ways down the road. I mean, son, it looked like a damn mud bog down there. And guess what? I seen the dude out there pulling on the rake, reseeding, and it wasn't even, I don't know what the hell they was doing down there. They got lost somehow between a couple houses and just straight up turned around in the dude's yard and tore it all to hell. So that's why I say, don't ever let people make you, feel bad for saying no or not, because at the end of the day, they're going to go to their homes and not give a shit. They want to say some words that I'm sure people had a few choice words to say about me after they got home. When, a husband to their wife, this guy, that guy, that's fine. You say all you want. If you feel differently about it, I'm a man. You can come over here. Maybe you'll straighten me out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got it coming. But I feel how I feel, and I'm going to do what's right for me just the same way as you're going to do for you. I'm not fake. Said I've worked hard to get where I am and be who I am, and I don't apologize for it one bit. So don't ever let people put you in a corner and make you feel bad for the beliefs and the grounds that you stand on. It's easy to say yes. Most of the time, it takes a hell of a lot more strength to say no. And I'm okay with going against the grain and saying no. And I said this was on my mind. I just wanted to share it with y'all. He wanted to be in the video. Maybe you've been in a similar situation and you're kind of feeling bad that you didn't go alone to get along. Don't worry about it. You ain't the only one. I'm out here and I'm going to keep on doing my thing because at the end of the day, you got to watch out for yourself. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what I had to say, leave me a comment down below. Hell, if you didn't like what I had to say, if you're the firefighter that I yelled at and you're upset because you're a volunteer and never made it onto the real team, leave me a comment down below. I never got to finish talking with you. Thanks. Have a good day.